So right now I'm cleaning. I just moved into this apartment and I kind of had everything everywhere. Like I was just so overwhelmed. So you guys are gonna see me just cleaning and going through stuff and wiping off the counters and stuff like that. But I want to come on here and I wanted to say, dear diary. Today was a rough day at work because I am a floater, and what that means is I float from classroom to classroom and I help the teachers where they need help. Now, being a floater is not easy because every teacher is different. You have to adjust quickly from one classroom to the next classroom, and when people see floaters, they kind of think, oh, you just chill all day. It's like, no. Like when teachers come in the classroom, they expect a break for they expect some type of break. They expect the floater to pick up a lot of the work. And it's like, well, damn, I just went to that classroom and I just changed all the diapers. Now you want me to come to your classroom and change all the diapers too? Like, floaters are so underappreciated, I'm telling you. So what led to me being a floater was my schedule. I decided to go back to school to pursue higher education, and my boss was very supportive, but with that, I could not be placed in a classroom like full time. I had to, you know, um, be a floater because my hours aren't consistent and the kids need consistency. So my boss was cool with it, but she just said, hey, look, listen, you're not going to have a classroom this year. You're just going to be a floater, which being a floater, it has its perks. I would say the perks are you are not responsible for any lesson planning or anything like that. Anything goes wrong, you're not really responsible. You're only responsible for the children. When you're not a floater, there are a lot of disadvantages. It's not your classroom, so you don't really have a say in how things are run. Your suggestions are not really taken as seriously. And you just have to roll with it. So, and it's not your classroom. You don't have a home. It's kind of like you're a nomad, and anyone who's a floater knows, like, yo, being a floater is not easy. It can most quite definitely be difficult and challenging, but hey, listen, I need a job. I need to be employed, so I'm still there working. But yeah, it was just like a rough day. Also dealing with kids who bite people. Kids who bite people, yes. Sometimes you go to a classroom and there's just one kid who's always biting, and it's like the moment you take your eyes off the biter, they bite. So just dealing with kids who bite, sometimes kids, they don't sit down, and these are not your kids, so you have to always be mindful of, how you talk to them and things like that. But it's kind of just like, oh my gosh, like, these kids, it's like, how many times I'm gonna have to ask you to sit down? Like, I done asked you 10 times already, and so it's just like, just when you have to keep redirecting children and keep redirecting children and keep redirecting children, it's like you redirect children all day. But anyways, bye.